What's up, guys? Welcome back to another amazing tutorial by Mr. McLean about high school technology. Without further ado, let's get started. Last class, we were talking about running stuff in the terminal, and it was, fun, cool, and there's a lot more you can do. But what I want to do is I want to introduce a tool to you, okay? You'll prefer it. I know you probably will. That's okay. I want to introduce you to a tool called Visual Studio's Code. It's made by Microsoft. It's flashy. It's nice. It's really nice. Where is it? Well, it's right here. Visual Studio's Code. Click on it. Yippee-ki-yo-ki-yay! Okay, so here we are, and I should take you back to the Explorer. This is what should probably open up for you. This is called Visual Studio's Code. Basically, you're able to edit documents. You're able to edit all kinds of code, and in particular, Lua code. Before we get into editing and stuff like that, let's do a quick check. Down here on your taskbar is an icon. It's called the extensions icon. And I want to make sure that you have several different extensions. You should have Dracula. You should have Lua. You should have Mind Test. If you don't, the way you get there is you type, Dracula. And you're going to down arrow onto it, and well, I guess not. You're going to click install. And repeat the process. Boom, baby. So that's it. It's done. We have just added all of our extensions, and if we click on the extensions, okay. And you should see something like this. Dracula, Lua, and Mind Test. All cozy, happy family. Looking nice. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the upper icon. It's the Explorer. We are then going to click on this. Now, before you do that, what we're trying to do is we're going to assign a workspace. And this workspace is where we will have our files. Now, we're going to have to move that workspace later on. But since we have created a Lua file already, let's go ahead and go back to that Lua file. We're going to go to Open Folder. We're going to go to Documents, and I think that's probably it. What? Fantastic. We've clicked on Documents. We're going to click... No. We're going to click OK. Oh, great. Click OK. Yes. And here we are. You can go ahead and trust the authors. Do you trust yourself? Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so the welcome page, yay, yippee-i-oh, we can do stuff. Let's go ahead and exit out of that, and then click Lua, and boom, it's there. And VSCode does some fancy stuff. It auto-detects, and it says, hey, you're running Lua, yay, little cat. So in here, we can do all kinds of stuff. Your file probably looks different. But yeah, so we can type code. Now, as you just saw, I kind of got ahead of myself. It gives you some functionality. It gives you what are called auto completion, or I forget what it's called actually. So if you type IO, what does it give you? Well, it gives you a library, the IO.library, the IO library. Well, what is a library? I don't want to get into all of that just yet. You can probably get a good understanding just by simply watching. After typing IO and I press dot, it shows me a lot of different options. And if you scroll down, what do you know? There's the one that we used before called read. And if we want to, we can press enter. And for some reason, it doesn't give us those curly braces, but when we do press the open curly brace, not curly brace, but the parentheses, it goes ahead and gives us the end one. And so that's really cool. And for some reason, it's giving us some options here, and I don't know what exactly those do. Let's see what happens when we do this. Ooh, that's nice. So it'll give you more information about the IO.read. And so equivalent to, okay, so that's not a lot of information. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and define this, right? We're going to just say C equals io.read, and then we're going to go down and we're going to say print something. I don't know. What do we want to print? A C times B plus A. Ooh. Then we're going to press Control S, and we're thinking, all right, great. We want to actually like run this and just see like what does it do. Go up here to the top, and you'll see Terminal, and you can click New Terminal. There's a lot of different options. Haven't gotten into all of them just yet, but as you can see down here, wow, that's cool. It opens a terminal in the folder that you're in, and so then what we can do is we can say Lua. This is called test.lua. Oh, goodness. Enter. And it says 9. Now, it's also saying, it's also waiting for a prompt on my part, so I'm going to press 4, and it says 36. So, and then once it's done doing all of its calculations, it brings us to a new line on the terminal. So the cool thing is that you can open up a terminal inside of VS Code, which means you're not doing all this moving around and all this crazy stuff. Now, at some point, you will have to move between VS Code and Mindtest. So briefly, and this is something that is actually will help you a ton, so I would recommend you remember this. How do you do that? Well, you press Alt and Tab. Alt is like 4 over from the bottom left. Tab is like 4 up from the bottom left. And if you hit those at the same time, I think Alt first. Yeah, you want to hit Alt first. It will cycle between. It'll kind of rotate between the different applications that you have open. If you hold Alt and press Tab, it'll allow you to like see. Okay, here's all your windows. Which one do you want? Okay, cool. And then you can select from there. So it keeps all of your applications in a line, and then you can switch to those using Alt Tab. So that's really handy tip that you really, really do want to remember. Okay, what I want to see is I want you to write out some really cool stuff in test.lua. But before you I also want you to explore a little bit of this autocomplete stuff, okay? So here you have some different options for I/O. Check them out. See what they do. Sometimes it is sometimes better to run these in a shell. How do you do that again? If you have slept, let me remind you. You just type, oops. You go over here and you type Lua. And it opens up a shell, and then you can do io dot whatever. So try out some stuff in there. That way you can kind of debug a little bit easier, and try out some different methods of the io class, if you will, and then write them in your test.lua. So yeah, I know it's a lot to ask. But get used to it, because I'm going to be requiring a lot of you this year in high school technology. You are going to learn a lot, and I'm going to pull you along, or hopefully you just kind of come running along. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time.